Thank you for being a friend. My friends, we're doing something a little different. We're doing a little bit of experimentation here. We are live streaming on the phone, but over the years, I've done a lot of tours of different hotel rooms, and I've really discovered that I have a passion for hotel rooms. And I do these videos where I tour you guys around rooms, I show you these different hotels, and you guys have really enjoyed that. But we're experimenting here. This is the first time we're kind of going to do that live. We've been staying in a hotel for a number of days now, and let's go in and take a look. Thank you guys that are joining us live.
Hi, Rebecca Love. I saw the message says Rebecca Love. Hi.
We'll get to the live questions and comments in a few minutes here, so please hold those.
Dexter, hello.
But this is the room that we've been staying in here for at least a few days, I guess. So I'm just slipping off my flip-flops.
It's fast. I wanted to say hi to everyone who's saying hi,
But check out this rug, if you can see it. Pretty cool. There's the bed. But this rug, it feels amazing on your feet. I love walking on that thing barefoot. So right now, we're not going to necessarily do the typical tour like we do in all my videos, but she's so short that she's trying to tiptoe.
I'm trying to catch up with Travis's height.
But
hi there.
So this is a very nice room that we've been staying in, actually. Very, very nice. And the thing is, we've been so blessed because we've been staying in so many really, really nice rooms, especially lately, that it's almost like we're kind of spoiled because we stay in these super nice hotel rooms, but then when you stay in a night, especially when we stayed at J Park, we had that, as you saw in the previous video, that's probably the best place we've ever stayed. We've stayed in really nice places, tons of 5-star hotels, but that last place, we had that huge suite, totally unbelievable. That had to be the best. So after that, then you go to a room like this that's a very, very nice room, but you get kind of spoiled, it kind of changes your perception. So when you go from a totally magnificent room, like something a king would stay in, and then you go into one that a prince would stay in, it's like, oh. So you got to always try and remember to be grateful and appreciative, and you get kind of spoiled. Is there anything you'd like to add, Imabel?
Well, hopefully all of you have already seen the vlogs, especially the ones where I manage executive tours, and Travis goes with me because he also works as the photographer, of course. It's one of the amazing things that he does as well. And so you could have a better understanding of what we're doing and why we have been touring around hotels and stuff like that. But even without managing tours, we also go to different hotels actually. But I would highly recommend to you to catch up, to make sure that you watch the newer vlogs where we go on tours, because these newer vlogs actually, they are the vlogs that have recently inspired us a lot, and more are coming. So make sure you watch them, and I know you'd understand us better in terms of what we're sharing and talking about. And in addition to that, I just finished managing. Actually,
you've been doing a lot of tours.
Yes, and I'm finishing one current tour, which has really gone so well. It has been fantastic.
It's mind-blowing.
Yes. And we actually...
Hopefully you can hear that I'm wearing a mic, but
yeah.
You're on the other side.
Do you want to move?
Let's move over here. We actually have a place set up so we can get some window light coming in. The light should be better here. I even have drinks set up over here, but if I turn the camera, it'll get too bright. So, ooh.
It's too blind.
Now my chair's lower than yours, so we're kind of on the same level.
Yeah. It's a good setup you did. Because I'm taller than you now.
You can see the mic here. I do have a new mic on. This is a Rode mic for iPhone. It only works with older iPhones, so I think the audio, though, should be really good from this. But you've been doing a lot of tours, Imabel, more than what you guys have been seeing on the videos.
Yeah, hold on. Before I move on, just let me send a shout out to Mr. Peter Christopher. Thank you so much for the microphone. And then,
He left this here. It only
yeah.
works with older iPhones, and it doesn't really work with non-iPhones. You have to have like an iPhone 6
We
and
actually
older.
have microphones for the iPhone, but all of them broke. And so
No,
recently,
we have a newer one too that I just bought
oh
recently.
yeah, but we really
I
haven't
think this
used
one
it.
might be better though,
We haven't
less
really used
sensitive.
it much, so it was a great timing that we also got this just recently. And okay, what were you saying again?
Well, you've been doing all these tours, and I have to say that something you're the best at doing this, not just for this current company, but I'd say you're the best in the entire Philippines at doing these tours. And what really makes, I was thinking about this earlier, what really makes a great tour manager, you have to be a people person. You have to have people skills, not just people skills to get things done when you're dealing with airlines or you're dealing with hotels, but having all these clients come in, you can see there's so many different types of people.
Different
Yeah,
personalities,
they're from different countries,
different culture.
different cultures, and dealing with them, they're all very different from each other. So you have to have the people skills to accommodate all these different types of people and make them happy, because ultimately that's what it's about. This is about giving them an experience, giving them the time of their life. That's what they're paying all this money for. They're getting a once in a lifetime experience. And I know on one of the recent videos, someone said, like, about one of the clients, well, he has a Filipino girlfriend. He could just have her show him around and save money. Well, the thing about that is the girlfriend can't do everything you do. She can't get, she can't check into the hotels. All those water sports that we did, as you saw in the last vlog, and even if she could do that, she probably wouldn't want to, because it's supposed to be her vacation too. So yeah, you pay more money, but it's totally worth it. Especially if you're older, you want to have a life experience when you're in the second half of your life. If you're over, say, 50 years old, even over 40 years old, really, life shouldn't be about saving all the money. Of course you need money, and of course you need to retire and all that, but once in a while, some things in life, they're worth paying for, and they're worth paying extra for, because it takes all the stress out. We keep everyone safe, especially you, and you make sure everything's maximized, and all they have to do is sit back and relax. So you're doing things that other people couldn't do, even other tourism people, but you're making the experience so great, and all they have to do is sit back and relax, and they're safe. So I mean, it's just a great service that you're doing, Imabel. You're just so good at this job. You have the perfect personality. You've had so many different jobs, from working for ABS-CBN for years, which is a local television network, to being a university English professor, to being a radio host, and there's probably a lot of other important things that I'm forgetting. But these
Event host.
event host,
Event
wedding host.
well.
She hosts events. She hosts weddings. So there's so many things that you've done, and this has been like training and lead up. And other people, even if they work in tourism, there's a lot of people that work in tourism. They're not necessarily that good, and there's some that are good, but they're not great. And Imabel, you're really great at doing this.
Thank you so much. Well, here's the thing.
You can get more comfortable. You're sitting a little awkward.
When you go on a tour, it's either you prepare, you organize your own tour, from finding the lowest rate, airfare rate, maybe finding the best hotel rate, preparing the itinerary, coordinating with the people you have to coordinate with to make sure everything is smooth flowing, organized, and all those other factors that you have to consider. Another way is to, which is the best way, is to think about packing your clothes and getting to your destination without even thinking about what to do next, where should I go, how much would
Sure.
cost me, how much can I save something from this part so I could do more on this part. That's the best way to travel. You don't have to worry about these things, and all you have to do is just think about enjoying your trip and feeling safe because someone is taking care of it. And actually, for that type of traveler, or that type of travel that I said would be the best, depending on you, of course, is to have a tour manager, and that is what I do. And I just, if you have seen all, the vlogs, I've always been open about how I feel about it. I'm so passionate about doing these things, managing tours, hosting events, and these things. It's so fulfilling whenever I see my client happy, enjoying. It's so rewarding. So, in terms of managing tours, we also got questions, actually comments and emails, how to book tours with us. Actually, what you can do now is you can send us a message here on YouTube or leave a comment.
No, send us an email.
Okay, send us an email would be the best.
At contact@traviscraft.com, and you just leave your name and your phone number. People ask how much these cost. They have the current company that we're working for, they have different levels of packages, from like the ultra luxurious, which
To
of course are
customize.
expensive, to more customized ones. But we don't do that. So someone else in the proper department would have to
So
contact
if you're
you.
interested to know the tour package options, the rates and all these things, you can send us an email so we can endorse you to the department that takes care of inquiries and booking for the tours. And when
Someone's saying, what's the email again? It's contact@traviscraft.com, which is my name, my website, traviscraft.com. All very easy to find. Just think of my name. You're contacting Travis Craft. Contact@traviscraft.com. And if you're seriously interested and you have like the money to spend to do something nice for yourself, all you gotta do is, send us a name with your, and say, hey, I'm interested in getting more info, and send your phone number. That way, we can have someone call you and, get the ball rolling. But I kind of want to say enough about this stuff now. Let's have some fun. Because it's kind of moving on, but not really. Of course, you're doing these tours for a dating website. So something that a lot of people, I think, they don't understand, and a lot of this hasn't been seen in the videos, is like one of the clients, our last client that we saw, he actually had someone that he was meeting, one person, he was interested in only one person, and he was going to spend all her time with her. And some people do it that way if they know who they're looking for, they know the girl that they want, and they've been talking a long time, and they're sure they're sure what they want to do. Mm-hmm. But then there's a lot of other guys, and this hasn't been seen on camera, where you actually set up dates for these guys, and you...
Friendly dates.
Yeah, well, what do you mean by friendly date?
Not the romantic date.
No, they are romantic dates.
No, but you can't be so romantic with every single woman. You know what I mean? Because let me explain.
I think you have a little difference in language. I'd say they are romantic dates.
Okay,
They're dates, but you're not necessarily committing to each other. You're getting to know people.
Well, first of all, the service is not an escort service, because it's kind of like what's like that. It's a dating website, and the members of the dating website, actually, they have what's so good about the dating website, and I say this because I know how the staff really takes good care of the members, and how the members are so happy about the service, is that unlike other dating websites, you'd find a lot of scammers and fake members. Plus, if you're a member of the website, there is a team on the website.
They have a lot of employees
that is dedicated to helping you, guiding you, counseling you on, say the woman that you're considering, that you like, if she'd really be if she's really compatible with you, if you guys are both compatible, and they would help you see if the woman is really sincere and all, in both ways, okay? Because it's not only about money and just profit, because there's really the dedication is really there to help people find the love of their life.
Yeah, and we shot a video, and I'm not sure when it'll be coming out. I'm not sure if it'll be on this channel or their channel, with the owner, and I get into why did you start this site,
What
why
inspired him to
yeah,
start the
why
web?
did he start it? What's his purpose for doing this site? And what's very interesting is he started it originally as a hobby, but now it's this major thing that they have all these employees, they're setting up all these people. Many people have gotten married through their website.
Exactly.
And they're doing these tours, and some of them are very high-end luxury tours.
Yeah.
Some people, I know some that like that one comment. I was kind of thinking of, well, why would he pay to do a tour if he's meeting this girl over there? There's a lot of reasons, but it's kind of like seeing a guy in a Ferrari saying, why would you buy a Ferrari when you can buy a 2001 Honda Civic and save a lot of money? Well, a lot of guys can afford the Ferrari, and it's worth it to them to have that Ferrari. It's just that's the experience that they want to go through life. They don't want to go through life driving an old used Honda Civic. They want to go through life driving that Ferrari. And it's all about what you want out of life and individual goals in life, individual needs. A lot of people, they've always gotten on me because I choose to live in Metro Manila. And like, why wouldn't you live in some rural area of the Philippines? Because that wouldn't be right for me. For one thing, how on earth would I be able to work or make money in the middle of nowhere? Even in the US, there's not really jobs and stuff, especially if you work in a certain industry like me. Could I tape TV shows if I'm off in the middle of nowhere? Of course not. You have to be here. Just like if you're an actor or something in the US, you got to be in LA. If you work in the automotive industry, you have to be in probably Michigan or a few other select places where they manufacture automobiles. So it's all about what kind of job you do, what your individual experience is in life, and seeing all these couples come together and these guys go out on dates with girls. You meet so many different types of people, and you see that there's not one experience that's right for everyone. Everyone has their individual needs. Everyone is looking for something different. Someone that's the perfect girl for my cousin Tom was trying to Skype in. I got the notification.
Maybe I should get my laptop so I could message him.
We'll call him back
Tom,
after
if
this.
you're watching, we're using.
He's not watching because he's trying to Skype in.
No, he doesn't know if we're watching the phone or the computer, so that's why he's.
Okay.
So we're using the
The
phone now, so we couldn't pick up the call. I'll try, but if we'll use the computer,
One
it
thing
might mess up the connection. So
that
I'll
I
call you
wanted to
later.
say about hotel rooms that I kind of forgot, and I want to get in here real quick. I really discovered that I have this love for hotel rooms, and I think I've always loved hotels. I've always had this kind of interest in hotels, but I never really started vocalizing it until very recently with doing these videos and stuff. And I think the reason I have so much love for hotels is because when I was a little boy, I used to stay in a lot of hotels from the time I was much older because I'd travel around the country for wrestling. Especially when I was little, I'd travel around with my dad, and sometimes we'd stay in some pretty cheap motels. And my dad, he would kind of ingrain this mentality into me where he would say, we're staying in kind of a cheap dump, but it's kind of fun to do that because it's kind of an adventure to stay in a cheap dump. So even, I stay in a lot of these luxury hotels now, of course, but it's not about that for me. It's just about having an experience and having fun, and we can stay in cheap hotels and still have a great time. We have that one video, I think it has like 1.8 million views on YouTube now, where we stayed at Hotel Sogo, and there was some kind of weird, crazy experiences staying there in that place. Some kind of crappy experiences, but it was an adventure. It was a lot of fun. So I mean, that was and it turned out to be a great video staying there at Hotel Sogo. I know a lot of people got angry, especially a lot of people. Filipinos are very prideful people, and they got butthurt that you'd go to a place and you'd show an accurate review, an accurate portrayal of your experience there, just a documentation, and then some final thoughts that were totally fair. But they're like, how dare you hurt this business? Your country sucks, man, and stuff like. But it's like, what do you want? Do you want an honest us sharing our honest experience, or am I supposed to be doing pure positive videos, even if they're totally fake, for companies and for things that they don't pay me? So what's my incentive to do it? They're not paying me. I get nothing out of it. Why not do what really fulfills me, which is share my experience, and share the reality and share what I want to share. And sometimes it's honest and it hurts people's feelings, unfortunately, but you can't be such a wimp. You can't be such a sissy and go around looking to be offended at all times. That's a very common thing now, of course, in the United States, but definitely here. People will take offense at some of the silliest things, and a lot of people, they can't just handle a little bit of honesty, even if you're doing it with good intentions. I don't work for these hotels or anything. I might as well just show my real experience and do a service to you, to the viewer. So.
Plus, that review was I think it was fair. It was objective.
It was more than fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could have simply focused on showing the not so good things, but we also included the good things about it, about staying there. So it's balanced, I would say. And
It's very balanced, but people can't. A lot of people too, I think they'll comment, but there's a big thing on YouTube where people comment before they watch the video. I feel like YouTube should add a feature where you're not allowed to leave a comment unless you've watched at least, say, 60 or 70% of the video. So thank you guys like Christopher D. Bona that are commenting live. Nathaniel Lawless commented earlier saying, it's been a while since you've done a live stream.
Milks, how do you pronounce it?
Milksy.
XXE. One, it was that. You know who you are, thank you. You know what, guys? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the comments, the greetings, the questions. The thing with using live streaming using a phone, the comments.
It's using the YouTube app.
The comments pop up and they go away right away.
They disappear within a few seconds, and we can't scroll back to see your previous.
We can't really read the entire thing, and we can't really see everything right away, unlike using a laptop.
And another big tragedy to the YouTube live streaming, which doesn't just apply to if you're doing it on mobile like this. When the live stream's over and it uploads as a recording, the comments that were left during the live stream completely disappear. So it's like that's lost forever. So if you guys want to be seen when this uploads as a recording, and I might not leave this up forever, but if you go back to the recording, even if you watch this live, and leave some sort of nice comment, that would be really cool, since whatever comments you're typing now, they're going to totally disappear when this uploads as a live recording. But let's have some fun. Now let's interact with these guys live.
Should I try to check the laptop? But it might mess up our connection.
Don't.
Because right now it says poor connection.
My Filipino girlfriend gave me Tampo the other day, but lasted a day. I don't know what I did wrong. What do you have to say about that?
Tampo?
Yeah. It went by and disappeared really fast.
Oh, well, that's just part of a relationship, but it will not be healthy if that would be constant. Just try to reach out to her, talk to her, and say it's best to be honest with each other and to just be more open to each other, because there is cultural difference, like even between us. To me, it's already an issue. Or something, I felt bad about something that he doesn't even know. He doesn't even realize he did something.
We don't really have too many of those problems.
We don't have that. But there are
We've
times,
never really had many of those. We see it more in other couples, I would say.
Yeah, but like in the earlier days, it's like there could be a very simple thing that he missed and he doesn't even realize. And I could just be overly sensitive, but you really just have to talk to each other, to talk about it, be open to each other, and be more understanding, be more accepting of each other. Because I would just be frustrated if I would expect him to always do what I want him, or I'd expect him to do. I mean, we have different personalities as well. We have different cultures, so you have to adjust to each other.
Shane Gable says, your video thumbnails are getting very sexy. Well, I'm a sexy guy, Shane. I don't know what to tell you. Are they as sexy as those photos we were looking at from the 70s of Burt Reynolds the other night? This is what we do in our spare time, my friends. We go on the internet and we look at nude photos of Burt
What?
Reynolds, apparently. But, it's like, I like Burt Reynolds. We just watched the Smokey and the Bandit series this week. And Burt Reynolds, of course, was a sexy guy, but a funny guy. And you look at some of those nude photos that he took in the 70s, not just the famous Cosmopolitan photo spread, but he had this book, and I actually used to have the book, and he had a bunch of nude photos of himself. I mean, it was like obscuring. He was obscuring, the naughty bits mostly. But I had this book. It was actually a very funny book. It's him responding to people's letters to him and him giving advice and stuff like that. It was very humorous, and he had all these nude photos in it, but they were very funny nude photos. But if you think that's sexy, Shane, the recent stuff, check out my most viewed video on this channel. I think it has about 141 million views. It's funny, we were just talking about when we stayed at Hotel Sogo, and we said that has about 1.8 million views right now. And we were thinking that's a lot of people watching something. But then my top video, my most viewed video of all time, has about 141 million views right now and counting. And when you think about it, the Super Bowl last year, which was like record setting, only had about 114 million. So far more people watched my number one video, which is a short film, but far more people have watched that than even watched the Super Bowl. That's mind-blowing.
Interesting.
Watch my most viewed video, and it will blow your mind. Clickbait title. Alternative clickbait title. That's not the title of the video, but I was just trying to think of a clickbait title for it.
I was trying to hold my thoughts while you were talking.
You're distracted by my sexiness,
Just
apparently.
keep going.
I can't blame you for being distracted by my sexiness.
Thank you guys for watching the videos.
Nixie, I've seen it. It was a great video, see? But you've seen so many of my videos, and I appreciate you leaving all these comments on my videos because I think since you've watched so much of my stuff, I'm
relaxing.
Okay. Since you've seen so many of my videos, you really get a better standing of who I am and what I'm doing. And so Jack Jones says, you guys look like you were arguing sometime in recent past. No, not really. But Milksy says that he or she has seen all of my videos. Well, I think they'd be around 400 or 500 right now. Comedy and Chill TV says, would you help me? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, I don't know what you're asking me to help you with. Frank Lanza says, I checked out the Filipino website you recommended, which I guess was christianfilipino.com. Some of these comments, I'm sorry guys, they literally pop up for a few seconds. Can you read that one, or did it go by?
So
That was a long one.
I'll just check the computer if you want.
So, okay, Milksy says I've subbed for 3 years. Well, I've been on this channel for 10 years now, 2007.
Someone is speaking Bisaya here, Maria Lourdes Briones. But we only saw kung tinuod siya. So I didn't know what your previous comment is.
I'm not sure what Jack Jones was referring to. He says his wife is Pinay, so...
Oh, maybe it was about the tampo question.
No, he said something about that we seem like we were arguing recently.
Where?
I don't think we have been. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
The thing is, argument is natural in any kind of relationship. We argue with your parents, you argue with your sibling, you argue with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, your spouse, with a friend. That's just part of the relationship. But the good news is, if you know how to handle argument, if you really value your relationship, then argument just spices up your relationship and just strengthens you both. It's just about your attitude.
Look at that show.
God's grace.
Look at that show, The Wonder Years, which we've been watching lately on TV. The brothers on that show. Very realistic portrayal of brothers. So, but especially in my life. That was like I identified with that show growing up a lot. The Wonder
Yeah.
Years, the
That was a
brothers.
nice episode.
That was a lot like my relationship with my brother growing up. I think that's pretty accurate of a lot of. Uh,
Matthew. I think Matthew was okay. Glass Legend.
Nathaniel Lawless
I'm
says,
trying to say hi to everything, to everyone who's leaving
I'm
comments so
getting
fast.
to a question that
Go
someone's
ahead.
been. Nathaniel Law. Now I forgot what he said. Nathaniel Lawless. Oh, Nathaniel Lawless said, "Congrats." We can't scroll back. Is a free tourist visa available at the Manila airport provided? Well, we don't know what country you're coming from. You might not need a visa, so we don't know what country. If you're from America, you don't need a visa if you're going to stay less than 30 days. If you need a visa to stay longer, it is not free. It's not super expensive, but it's not free, and you're going to have to apply for that usually at one of the offices, maybe even the main office the first time you're doing it to get a tourist visa. But uh, without knowing what country you're from, my friend, it's a little hard to answer. You'd have to look up depending on your country. If you're from the United States and there's a lot of other countries, if you're going to stay less than 30 days, now again, depending what country you're coming from, don't quote me on this. What country if you're from the United States, you have 30 days. If you're going to stay longer than that, you need to get a visa, and you're going to have to go to some place and apply for that. You can actually get those before you even come over, like especially if you live in a major city like Los Angeles, you can go and apply for it there. But you got to do it long enough before your trip so you can get it back. They do take your passport, but then they give it back. How much in dollars? I don't know what they go for. I haven't had a tourist visa to the Philippines in many years. So, but Nathaniel Lawless, I want to
Thank
get.
you, Robert Oliveras.
He says, Ema is the best person in the whole world. I will not disagree with that, my friend. But getting back to Nathaniel Lawless's comment, he said, congrats on the engagement. You're talking about the engagement of the couple
Maybe
in our previous video.
Have you really seen the video yet?
You have to say
You should-
congrats to the people getting engaged.
Yeah, you should watch the video. That your congratulations for engagement would go to the couple that is featured on the video.
Yeah, they got engaged. In our previous video, we featured a couple that came for a tour, and they ended up getting engaged while they were here. So that was a huge success story.
And the very recent couple, I so love.
I don't think we should give it away.
I know. I just
because
just a teaser. I so love that. I so love what happened when they first met. I just so love it. And by the way, here's a very interesting thing. The couple, the girl, when she learned that I was going to manage the tour, she was so excited. She said, because here's the thing, when she heard my name, she said it rang a bell. And when she tried to Google it or check on YouTube or something, and then she said, is that her? Would I be meeting her? Maybe I would also be meeting Travis Kraft. And so when I had my first meeting with her online, she said, oh, I just used to watch you and I know how you sound. So that's really you. Because we didn't get to have a webcam meeting. It was just audio call. And
like a phone call.
Yeah, it's so heartwarming to hear that from her. And of course, her boyfriend, her future husband, is even happier because of that. He's so happy that she's gonna meet Travis Kraft during their tour, which is not really part of the package. It just so happened that I am managing the tour, and because Travis was not doing a TV show or any shoot that time, and that was just perfect. They're just so happy.
Someone just asked when are they getting married. They actually, I don't think they have a date set. They have a month set. They don't have the day. I think it's like August or September sometime, so that's when they're getting
That's
married.
their target month.
That's their target. I'm not sure they set
By
up
God's
a date
grace,
yet.
they'll have it.
They're getting married
Right.
in her hometown, so I'm sure that will be a great experience. That'll be a lot of fun.
And they're asking me to host their wedding.
Yeah, and they asked Imabel to host their wedding, which is the perfect person for the job. You can see other videos on this channel. There's one titled Wedding in the Philippines that has quite a few views that shows you hosting a wedding. I think that was a pretty good video. So Wedding in the Philippines, if you check out that one, it'll show her wedding hosting. That's, I think, when I started that vlog series, the life vlog series.
Yeah, there's only one of the videos that features my clips of my hosting. There's only one of them.
And I started doing that series a couple years ago when Canon gave me access to a camera that was new for them at the time. When they just came out with it, it was a newly designed vlogging camera, and they gave me access to it. And then I started this series where I started vlogging. I did that. Geez, when did I start that? It was beginning of 2014, I think, is when I started that.
I think so.
So, yeah, but I've been thinking actually about ending my vlog. Not within the next few months, I think. We'll do it maybe at least a few months and then go from there. So, should I end my vlog, my life vlog series? That doesn't necessarily mean the total end of my videos. It would probably mean less frequent videos as I focus on other things. But I've been seriously considering ending my vlog series and just stopping it altogether. It's been going since I think...
See, Milk C said, no, not the vlog.
So make the vlog a live talk radio station. Get avenues like
Michael Savage.
Well, I would like to do that too. I love talk radio. I've loved talk radio for years, especially if you live in Los Angeles. You spend a lot of time in your car, and I don't want to listen to music all that time, so I end up always listening to talk radio. But for talk radio, you're very limited. Most of it's political talk radio too. Not a lot of it is focused on an entertainment type of talk radio or dating. That's kind of what we do with my live stream series, and we've been live streaming on YouTube for over 5 years now. So that's pretty crazy to think about, that we've been going live. But we try and run that like a radio talk show, and Imabel actually used to host a radio show herself.
Yeah.
So that's possible. I'd almost like to just start a whole nother YouTube channel where all I do is live streams, and I could do that maybe a few times a week. Yeah, like Milksy says, I'd listen to a Travis and Imabel podcast. Yeah, I'd like to do something like that. I really would. But I'd almost like to start a new YouTube channel where I could do it, 3 to 5 times a week. But the thing about starting a new YouTube channel and being able to live stream is you have to have 1,000 subscribers, I believe, before they let you live stream. So I mean, it's like you can't, if you're starting a whole channel just to live stream, you can't actually live stream until you get 1,000 subscribers. And I'd have to really promote it and say, hey, even though there's no content on this channel, please go subscribe to this channel. And then once you get 1,000, you could start doing it. I've been tempted a couple times to start other YouTube channels, but I never really wanted to split mine up. The Travis Craft channel, it's about me, what I'm doing. It's not really good to run a channel like that that's such variety. The best and most successful ways to run a YouTube channel is just to pick a topic, a niche, and stick to it and only create videos about that. Like if you're going to create videos about knitting, don't start uploading video games about the UFC or playing video games or travel. Just only make things about knitting. Overall, it'll be a more successful channel. But I don't run this channel just for quote-unquote success. I did it because I started this in 2007 because it's a very personal thing. King of New Jersey.
Do not end the vlogs.
So, the Travis Craft experience.
That's
nice.
like Joe Rogan.
That's what I was thinking.
Joe Rogan experience.
But
Thank you, Milksy.
I've been seriously thinking for a few months, and this year I haven't really vlogged that much.
Insurance writer.
I haven't even vlogged very much this year.
Travis is
very sparingly.
Travis simply saying that making videos in his YouTube channel is not merely for money, because here's the thing: you could easily have more money and get a lot of sponsorships and be paid for that, if you don't really, if money is your priority, then you can do that. But for us personally, it's a question to us, why would we endorse something if we don't believe in it?
I've had a lot of
Why
offers, yeah,
why would we endorse something and recommend it to you guys if it's something that we think is not really good? So
One thing that comes to mind is I'm sorry, I cut you off. You want to
go
finish
ahead.
that? Well, one thing that comes to mind is I've had so much, so many dating websites, they've wanted to sponsor me or sponsor this channel. And it's like, I don't really know much about these other companies, so I don't really want to be endorsing something I don't believe in, something that could be fraudulent to some extent. They could, who knows what's going on some of these sites. So you considered your YouTube channel a life or touring travel vlog? Mostly life, but especially if you look at my older videos, I had a lot of comedy videos, a lot of short films, stuff like that. But mostly life, but with a life and personal, but with a heavy focus on travel and lifestyle. Especially the last couple years, very heavy focus, and I might move it into a little bit more of that direction and less personal. So that's a direction that I might go in. So, but I am thinking about ending the life vlog. I've been doing it for maybe like 3 years now, believe it or not. Seems like a long time. That's a long time to do something, and I've done a lot. I put a lot of really great stuff out there, and I'm pretty happy with it, whether people keep watching the older stuff or not. So the information's out there. You can't blame me. They've gotten more than enough information about a lot of different things. But I've been running this channel since 2007, which is a very long time. So, but this year I haven't vlogged very much. I've been focusing a lot on other things. So you're sitting in kind of an awkward position
No, I'm
on
trying.
your
This
legs.
is the comfortable. This is already
Okay.
comfortable for me. This is already comfortable for me. Yeah, I remember like what my recent our recent tour client said. What she loves about the channel of Travis, of course, the videos, is that watching the videos makes her. It's like the videos make her experience whatever we're showing on the video, and um, that's actually an achieved goal for us. The reason why we love showing you what we do and stuff is so you'd know what goes on and you'd feel the experience just by watching the videos. And we don't sugarcoat things. There are people. I am Filipino and I love Filipinos and I love my country. But the reality is, there are also Filipinos who are bitter, who are close minded, and if they hear something, say for example, when we show the garbage on the street, the intention or the goal there is not to make Philippines look bad. The intention is to help remind us, the people, that we actually have to take care of the environment. And I remember people being bitter about that, and they don't even do any part. Are you Filipino? Maybe do you even do up your part to promote your country? We're happy to do our part. And I'm so thankful that Travis, even if he's not Filipino, does his part without even, he's not even conscious. It's not like, it's like it's not like, he's not supposed to, but he loves the country and he loves us. So I think as a Filipino, we just have to do our part. Be clean, not throw the garbage everywhere, and just don't easily get offended when something is being brought up, like how Filipinos could also be like they're so fast to react to criticism.
That's kind of what
Ins-
we were talking about in the Hotel Sogovia.
instead of reacting to whatever is being shown on the video, which is the truth, well, you might as well learn how to do something about it. Instead of complaining, do something about it.
Endurance Rider says that your videos over the last 4 months have been great. We really appreciate it. He said something about, I don't think I can scroll back. Let me see here. I can scroll back. I found a way. I was planning on coming to the Philippines for a year. Now 3 weeks away. The last 4 months have been great with honest information. Really appreciated. Well, thank you so much, Endurance Rider. We do appreciate it. So, but yeah, we show our honest experience.
Charger?
Yeah, maybe you can get that if there's a place to plug it in. You guys, thank you so much for the kind words. We do appreciate it. King New Jersey says, I know it's hard to edit vlogs, but do not shut down your YouTube channel. That doesn't necessarily mean I'll like shut down the channel. It'll mean that I don't do like the life vlog series, which is mainly what I've done the past few years. You know, maybe I do something else and maybe I don't do it very frequently. I have some other things to focus on. Is there an outlet here? We gain like low battery notifications that we got to plug in here.
Oops, sorry.
So, but thank you guys for all the kind words. But we will see what happens. This is something I'm trying to plug in here.
Hopefully it doesn't affect the microphone.
Can you hold this one?
Okay.
Sorry guys, we got to plug.
Sorry for the interruption. We're trying to charge the phone, and Travis might be blocking the camera right now as he does that.
I think it's plugged in now.
Um,
We don't have a lot of reach on this, do we? Okay.
No. So speaking of vlogs,
I'll just sit in a little different position.
It's so heartwarming because we always get a lot of comments and messages from you guys saying that you're the you have the best vlogs in the Philippines. Like, wow, this, you know, it's like it simply warms my heart. And how do you feel about that? And there's not only one. That has been like the common comment that I've been getting.
Someone says, am I starting to get gray hair? I have hair wax that I'll do a video. I was going to do a video about it for Instagram. Something that's very big in Asia right now is silver hair or gray hair. A lot of people actually dye their hair like that. But you don't have to go for like a permanent thing or like a harsh chemical thing. I bought this, you can get hair wax. There's other videos about this stuff on YouTube, and there's a lot of different kinds. It works to varying degrees, but you can put it in just in your sides, or you can put like streaks in. I was actually going to do a video coming out soon to my Instagram about that. I'm going to be uploading some different video content, like especially short videos on Instagram. So I'm going to have one about making your hair gray. And you don't have to do it in a permanent way. If you just want to look a little distinguished or stylish, there's wax and there's other products you can get other than just coloring your hair. Because I know a lot of people, guys and girls, especially in Asia, they color your hair. But if you take really dark hair and you try and color it a lighter color, it's very difficult. So, I mean, first you usually have to bleach the hair to try and, like, you know, get it really light. And then you color it whatever color, like silver or whatever you want. But check out my Instagram. I'll have like some different types of video content, short video content. So we're going to have some hairstyling content coming to my Instagram, actually. If I was going to start a second channel or a different YouTube channel, that might be what I do, hairstyling, actually. I was very into hairstyling growing up and stuff, and you know, you got to have fun in life. I know someone, because I have colored wax. I also have blue, I have red, not just the gray and silver and white types of wax, but it also comes in blue. I think I have one in the side pocket. Do you want to get that, Imabel?
Is there?
Yeah, I have a packet there. So she's just get it. I think the one I have in there is blue right now. So she's getting it. We can show you exactly what I'm talking about. And there's different brands of this stuff. Some of it works better than others. This is one that's...
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored, so she doesn't want me to show you this, but...
No, you can show it, but I'm just saying we're not sponsored.
See, if you can see it there, this is one brand. This brand, actually, it's a new kind that I've been using. And you can, let me show you the back of the pack. It shows there like the different colors that they have available. You can see red, yellow, purple, green, blue, and gray. So those are the colors that this particular brand comes from. I don't know if you can get this in the US, maybe over the internet, this brand, but there's other brands. This one's from China. And people say, why do you do things like, why are you going to put blue stuff in your hair, make your hair blue, or make your hair like gray or silver or white? And you got to have fun. Life is short, guys, and we're on this earth a finite number of years. So you got to have fun with it. And sometimes that means having fun with your hair. And I know a lot of people have genetics where they go bald. So for them, you really have a fine, if you're going to try and have fun with hair, you got to have a very fine. I know I have an uncle that he went bald like early 20s. So, if you're someone with those type of genetics, obviously you got to really have fun at a very early age because it's so finite. So, but enough about that. Like, if you want to see my hairstyling videos, I'm going to be doing some on my Instagram, which my Instagram, Milksy says, be careful with China stuff, though. Yeah, that's true, even hair products. This is supposed to be, like, all natural. The ingredients is largely beeswax and mineral oil and stuff. But, yeah, be careful with stuff from China, as they said. That was an Imabel's concern when I bought this. It's from China, and she's like, I don't know if you should be using, even if it's just a hair product, I don't know if you should be using a hair product from China, especially if it's a hair product that's supposed to color your hair, and that's the purpose of it, because you worry about any kind of hair coloring products. There could be very harsh chemicals in it. Someone says it'll burn your scalp. Well, the wax shouldn't. But definitely if you use peroxide. I've never used peroxide to lighten my hair. But if you use peroxide, which is usually what they have to do if you're going from like black to a lighter color, yeah, you got to use peroxide, and that can burn your scalp. So, and I think some people have had a lot of problems with that stuff. Japan might have something like that. Yes, Japan actually has if you want product to color your hair silver or gray or white or one of those type of colors, because it's huge in Asia. I think it's especially big in Japan for males and females. And Imabel's playing with her hair back there. Maybe she wants to do a hairstyling video.
No, I'm just fixing it.
But in Japan, yeah, there's a lot from Japan. You can go on, if you're in the United States, you can go on Amazon.com and you can get a lot from Japan. Japan probably has the most popular. If you're talking about colored waxes, then Japan has probably the most popular, widest range of products in that. Jack Jones says, do you believe in this product? Well, it works, so I believe it works. I've used it a lot, actually,
yes,
now.
it's temporary color.
Yeah, it's temporary. But that's why I do it. That's why I said you don't want to necessarily dye your hair. Me, I'm a little paranoid. I don't even necessarily like to put in a lot of hair products in my hair, like hairspray or gel and stuff. I believe a lot of that can be bad for, who knows, maybe you're being a little over paranoid, but usually my hair's dry. And in a problem like this kind of climate, if you don't use hair products, especially if you have longer hair, as I often do, with the humidity, it's like, you can end up looking pretty messed up, looking pretty easy, especially if you're on like the MRT or something, which we haven't ridden in a very long time, and I don't miss it. Do you miss riding the MRT?
No.
We just take taxis everywhere we go. We might have some more videos coming out about taxis here, because I have a video about taking taxis in the Philippines, and the thing is, that video is kind of like a couple years old now, and I don't think it's really that relevant. Things have changed in terms of that. So it really calls for updated information, so I'll probably be doing that. Let me scroll back to some of these comments. Oh, here. Endurance Rider says, I liked your Baguio City videos. That is where I ultimately live. That's where I will ultimately live at, but I will stay in Manila. I gotta scroll, oops. Let me see. Let me scroll back again. Okay. I liked your Baguio City videos. That is where I will ultimately live at, but I will stay in Manila for a while so I can extend my stay with 1-year visa. Cycling. I got to scroll back again. This is not the easiest way to do it compared to the... Cycling from Baguio City to Chicago to Sagada and Atak soon. Very cool.
Really? Wow.
Our series in Baguio City, I feel like those are some of the best videos we've ever done. Originally, I planned that series as just me and Imabel, but then her family wanted to go, and I figured, why not make it family vlogs? And it took on it took on a different dynamic. The first few ones are family vlogs, but then we have 2 after that where it is just me and her going out with other people and just having like fun that young people would want and single people that they would be interested in. Someone says what's going on here?
It's not charging.
Someone said he literally made a video called "Why Do." Let me see. I'm trying. He literally made a video called "Why Filipino Girls Like White Guys." How are you okay with this? How are you not okay with it? You filmed it, actually. I was the one on camera. She filmed it. How are you not okay with...
Oh, me? Nothing. It was, we wanted to show you how Filipinos think.
Yeah.
So
how are you not okay with someone going out and asking someone a question and just letting them speak their mind, letting a person be featured that wouldn't normally have the chance to broadcast to a wide audience their thoughts on something? Why do you have a problem with people giving their honest opinion? Why would you have a problem with a guy asking the question? So how is anyone not okay with that, man?
What is the question about? What's the real question?
Yeah, it's kind of phrased weird, but yeah, what is the real question? You know, are you trying to like imply something bad about me? Are you trying to imply that I'm a racist? If so, I don't really care. So I'd like to move on to. Oops.
I'm not American. I don't see any racism in that. There could be a video.
Some people say it is a racist video, though.
There could be a video, a man
those
on
people
the
are
street
idiots.
video, asking people why they love eating something, why they like going to a certain place. It's just like that. It's about like sharing what you think and.
It's a video where people say what they generally like about white guys. If you got a problem with that, man, you're just looking to be offended. You're one of those people that's looking to be offended. And am I supposed to be upset that you don't like my video or maybe don't like something about it? Or you're reading something into it that's actually not there? Man, honestly, I don't care. Honestly, here's the thing. I'm an artist, man, and anytime you're an artist and you're putting things out into the world for the public to consume, someone's going to find something offensive no matter what. It can be the most, and often a lot of the videos of mine that I think that are actually the least objectionable, those are the ones I find people getting offended on, surprisingly. So I'm a creator. I create things, I put things out in the world, I put things into the world that lots of people enjoy, and I'm dang proud of it, so.
I think no matter how positive your intention is about something, there are always people who would find it negative. You know why? Because the person is simply negative. So you can't really please everyone. And that video, actually, I'm so happy because we have met many people who actually told us that they really like that video, they appreciate that video. And in fact, that's the first video that they've seen among the many videos that they have been seeing on the channel. So, I don't think, I don't know. Well,
here's a good comment that I want to get to. I got to scroll back a little bit to see who left it. DJ Hemi says, your haircut reminds me of Vanilla Ice. Well, Vanilla Ice in his heyday had a cool haircut, man.
Ice, baby.
I remember when I was a little kid this is when I was a very little kid, Vanilla Ice came to my hometown, Bismarck, North Dakota, to give a concert. Mm-hmm. And after the concert, they had a picture of him on the front page of the newspaper from the concert. And my dad said, this guy has really good hair. This is like, this is like ancient. I was a really little kid when that happened, but that was my dad's comment. This guy has good hair. He had that pompadour. He had some like things like lines shaved into it on the sides, but the basic shape was really good of Vanilla Ice's hair. Vanilla Ice had good hair. He had a great pompadour. So
I want to to show them.
If saying that my hair, I have a Vanilla Ice haircut, I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Maybe I want to show them when we went to Venice, Italy.
Okay, she's going to show you something. Go ahead.
Let me see if that would be seen.
Tilt it down a little bit.
Tilt down.
Wait, let me have it.
Okay, let me
I'll
hold
try.
this.
It's
I'm gonna
hard
show
to...
you a photo, guys.
Can you see that?
They see it? Leave it like for a few seconds.
Okay. That's the photo. So what do you have to say about that, Imabel? Where are we there?
The photo was taken in Venice, Italy.
Our trip to Venice, Italy.
Just yesterday.
Yeah. That's why we're in a hotel. We just flew in all the way from Venice, Italy. So you'll have to check that out in the future if we decide to upload footage. If I keep this vlog running and I decide to upload footage of our trip to Venice, our far-off trip to Venice. So
That's a surprise. That'll be a surprise for you guys.
that'll be a surprise if I keep this. Christopher DeBona says, well, I find your videos motivational and inspirational. Well, I'm really glad because that's what it's all about. I really want to do these videos to inspire you, not necessarily to do what I do, because like I said earlier, we're all supposed to do different things in life. We're all looking for different things out of life. But hopefully, if you see me, so many of my dreams have come true. So much great things has manifested in my life. Even recently, I've had just a lot of really great, unexpected things. Some of it, I have great things happening in my life that are expected as well as unexpected. Like every day, pretty much, there's great things going on in my life. Much of it's expected, but there's so much that's coming up that's unexpected. And for the past, I'd say really for the past maybe 3 to 6 months especially, life has been exceptionally great. I worry a little bit about getting too content and not striving for more and not pushing myself the way I should be, because sometimes it's not good to get too happy with life, to get too happy with yourself. Sometimes you should feel content and happy, but you also want to be able to desire having more. And I worry too much about falling into the trap of getting stuck in a rut. But I think we're going to be moving on to some other things here. Like I said, even if I talked about possibly ending my vlog series, moving on to different things that are also really good. So
Well,
I'm really happy about that.
you know what, guys? Hearing from you, and whenever you tell us how the videos have helped you, how the videos have inspired you or have informed you, that is simply fulfilling for us, because we have been making the videos not only to inspire you, to inform you, but to entertain you. And that kind of feedback that we get from you is like how we gauge that we're doing it, we're achieving our goal. So I just want to thank you all on behalf of Travis, for both of us, for always watching the videos, sharing your thoughts, and supporting us, especially the members of our Patreon family. That's patreon.com/craft. And like what I said, we actually love what we do, just to be able to share with you the experience that we have. It's not only about having fun. We have fun at the same time. We share with you the fun experience, because being able to watch it, I'm sure you're having fun. And that's something that I've learned from the viewers who told us that they're enjoying watching the experience just by watching the videos. And what else was I going to say?
Well,
Go
one
ahead.
thing I'd like to say, and this is something that's been more on my mind consciously the past couple months, is I'm an artist and I'm a creator, and because of that, I know so many artists that are like, oh, my art comes from my pain and my suffering, and it comes from being depressed. I don't think that's true, because if you look at those artists, those artists are often the ones that say that they're alcoholics or they're drug addicts, and a lot of them will also say, oh, drugs help me create my art. I don't believe in that. Now, I could be wrong on this, and I can't really say what their experience is or what works for them as artists, But I believe it's their creativity. It's not coming from their pain. It's not coming from their depression. It's not coming from the drugs. These depressed artists that then do drugs to help them create the art, what they don't understand is the drugs are merely numbing their state, their state of depression, their state of sadness, and it helps them get to like a little bit happier state, even if they're doing it in an unhealthy way through drugs and alcohol. It's helping them get to be a little bit happier place, and that's what helps them unleash their creativity and their artwork. So it's actually, I believe, the happiness and the joy that helps them release their creativity. It's not the depression, it's not the drugs, it's just that, those drugs, a lot of the times, it has a numbing effect on people's pain, of course, so that gets them to a better state. You shoot up heroin or do cocaine, not that I've done it, of course, but obviously that puts people that do those activities, it puts them in a very euphoric state. Now, it's doing it in a very unhealthy way, but they get high and then they do their art. Now, if you can find a healthier way, if you can realize that you can kind of more choose to be happy, that's a choice you can make. You don't need to stick a needle in your arm. You don't need to drown yourself in alcohol. You don't need to do any of that stuff to be a creative person. So I think that's what a lot of these people need to realize.
Well, we are able to do things that we do because, first of all, God has blessed us to do so. There are just things or times that we don't realize we're capable of doing something until we try or start doing it. So I really personally believe that the things that we're able to do now, just like the job, the projects I handle, the tours that I manage, the tours where Travis works with me as well, these are just blessings that are given to us so we can also be a blessing to others, just like you guys. We get to show you a hotel, and we get to tell you how it is and all that. Someday you might go to that area and you'll need to stay in a hotel, then you have an idea what it is. You can consider it, or you'd know what to consider next time you to travel or you visit. So these are things that I know are given. We are blessed. You are blessed, so you could also be a blessing to others. That's
And
for sure.
one point that I was kind of trying to make is, for me, I'm an artist, and that's what helps me create. And as I said in one of my recent vlogs, 2 vlogs ago actually, I said I do my best work when I'm having fun. And I say that because I want that to be the takeaway for you. I think regardless of what you do, whether you're an artist, whether you're something else, when you're having fun, when you're happy, that's when you're actually going to do your best work. When you're in a bad mood, you might still put some work out there, but it's not going to be your best work. So that's the takeaway. Just try and make sure you're happy, make sure you're grateful. Right now, why don't you guys leave a comment? Type a comment for me, guys. Type one comment of one thing you're grateful for. Just leave a comment. What are you grateful for? One thing. Let me know one thing you're grateful for.
First thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, it can be anything. It can be something material. You can say, I'm so grateful that I have such a cool looking sports car. Or
I'm so grateful that I get to watch the live stream now and join Travis and Ima.
Yeah, anything.
Just the same thing. When you brought it, I was like, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm so thankful that we guys get to talk to you right now.
So, yeah, tell you anything you're grateful for. Like I said, it can be material, like your car, your shoes, your house. It can be something that's non-material.
Grateful for being saved. Thank you, Endurance
I'm so
Rider.
grateful that my mother that I love so much is helpful. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, it's so fast.
Grateful for being saved. How were you saved?
By Jesus.
Well, it doesn't say that. So, I mean, he might mean that.
How
he means something else.
Am I right?
So, I'm grateful for knowing Christ has saved me from Auxiliary Mike.
That's also one of the things I'm so thankful
I'm grateful
for.
to live my life, having my family in this world. Me too, so much. I'm so grateful.
That's a great blessing.
It is a great blessing because we don't choose our family.
Right.
We're born to the parents we're born. We're born to, if we have brothers and sisters, maybe we don't get along with. We don't really choose those people.
And I can still breathe. Exactly. And they don't wake up anymore. They die in their sleep. So it's also a blessing that you can still breathe. Exactly. And it's so your family, no matter how they are, it's still a great blessing if they're around and they help you, and you might have disagreements, but there for you, because if you just go out to the streets in the Philippines, you'd see a lot of homeless kids,
Yeah.
even infants being carried by another kid, begging, knocking on your car, begging for money. So you are really way blessed, still blessed. Not that I'm not that I'm like you just
Well,
there's just so many reasons for you to really know that you are blessed.
Well, it puts things in perspective. There's times when I see kids in the street and I say, God, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful that I wasn't born into a life like that. Because these are kids too. They didn't choose their parents. Their parents abandoned them. They're born into it. So, but thankfully I'm not.
Hold on.
So,
Okay. AUX Mike, he's grateful because he's gonna go to sleep happy. That's very nice.
yeah, that's very nice.
It's late
Family
there,
in
huh?
good health.
Exactly.
Jack Jones says,
Milk Sea.
Jack Jones says, I'm an atheist, but I respect people's beliefs, including my wife. Very glad to believe
Okay.
it.
That's
Very
it.
glad to hear that because I feel the same way. I try and respect other
atheist?
people's. I try and
He's
respect
not
everyone's
atheist.
beliefs. And we were in a Muslim area and stuff. And I don't have any problem with Muslims. There's a lot of bad ones, but there's a lot of bad ones of a lot of different types of
Well,
people.
for Jack Jones, that's
So,
go ahead, you
the
first.
Muslims that I was getting along with fine that we were with. And of course, I'm not a Muslim, but I respect what they want to, the way they want to go through life. If that's what they want to do, man, that's the way it is.
Jack Jones, it's so nice to hear what you just said because, like, with you and your wife, it's important to respect each other and you agree to disagree.
Let's see here. I got a good comment. Endurance Rider says, are you both certified open water divers? Any future diving videos? Subic would be a good area for video material, good for wreck diving. Well, we do have a scuba diving video from this year
That's
even.
an interesting suggestion you have. I am not a professional diver.
But we went scuba diving, and we have a scuba diving video.
So that was my first time to do scuba diving, and I had like a scuba diving expert with me as my buddy. That was really an awesome experience.
And in the last video, we went swimming with whale sharks. But we have a scuba diving video from this year, maybe from a month or two ago. We did a scuba diving video.
Yeah.
The thumbnail is me scuba diving, so if you want to see that, just go through my other ones. So these comments are going fast. Let me see.
I know it's kind of hard, like when you're
I'm
just
scrolling back to
using
see
an
what people are
iPhone.
grateful for. I guess it pays off to be thankful while living life. If not, we could be stuck in the world of void emptiness. You're absolutely right. No doubt about it.
When we always count our blessings from the smallest to the biggest, that would keep us from feeling empty, I would say. Just always be thankful for what
Someone
we have.
said the Nikoni Kopan, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, says, I'm grateful for being home and able to relax
before the work week.
Grateful to have a job that I love.
Awesome.
Sometimes even to have a job that you don't love. A lot of people complain about their jobs. Even I've been in this situation. Then something happens, you lose it somehow, you get laid off, you get fired, or just the company goes under. So you lose that job that you were complaining about, and then you find yourself complaining because you don't have a job, and you're going, oh my God, what am I going to do? I was spending all week long complaining. Now I just found out I'm not going to have that job to complain about, and now I really have a lot of things to complain about.
I understand how it's natural for people to complain about the job they have, but to help focus on the positive or just stay positive is, oh, I don't love my job, but actually it's still good because there are people who are jobless.
Yeah.
Then you can just focus on
Been there too.
while you're doing your job, do it really well, and then you could always make plans and set goals to work on what you really want to do.
Yeah, I've been there.
Aside from that
I've
job.
been there. That's why I say that that I know how it is to have a job that you complain about, and then you don't have that job for whatever reason. Then you're complaining a lot more all of a sudden because you're not going to have money. So we just got a comment from Endurance Rider says, ever tried surfing? Maybe a trip to Baylor.
Baler, Quezon.
I have surfed before, but that was in Los Angeles, so it's not something I currently
agree to
do.
what Glass Legend said.
Let me scroll back.
It's the first ones. Okay. Every time when I think my life sucks, this is what Glass Legend hashtag said. I think of all the blind people and others who are in a worse situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be grateful. Like I said, when you see these kids living in the streets here in the Philippines, I say, thankfully I was born where I was born. I was born to the parents where I was born. It was all I think it all happened for a reason. So I got to always remember to appreciate that.
To appreciate it, at the same time, you'd realize also that you are actually capable of helping others. You know what I mean? You don't have. It's not only money. It could be something. Because, say for example, since you mentioned blind people, there are many things I'm sure that blind people want to do that all of us with normal eyesight could do. So think about that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do something that I could do because I could see.
Yeah, you
But
can't.
you know what I mean? So we really have to to take advantage on what we have and be thankful for what it is and use it for the good.
Well,
For
just
the
think
good of
about that.
others.
A lot of the times you'll complain sitting there in traffic behind the wheel of your car. Oh my God, I hate this traffic. But a blind person wouldn't even be able to drive a car, so you're so blessed to even be able to sit there in traffic behind the wheel. So that's something to put things in perspective. Let me see. I'm missing some comments, so I'm trying to scroll back.
Someone said good night. I wonder who that was. Robert, good night to you.
It's getting late in America. And
Yeah.
we'll be ending this soon, so get your comments, get your questions in. You can still keep leaving us comments of one thing that you're really grateful for in life, and we can share them with everyone else here before we take off and enjoy our time. We're not working today, so we're kind of enjoying some of our time.
I'm still working.
Oh, she's still working. Well, I kind of have some work to do too, but I probably won't do them today. We had a very long day yesterday. Super long day from morning till night, but it was definitely a great day, definitely a fun day, definitely a unique day.
Productive, very productive.
So, but that was very blessing because the thing is, one thing I've noticed too on days when all you do is relax and you don't do anything, those are the days you feel most tired. The days where you're staying busy and you're moving a lot, that's when you feel the most energized.
Yeah, I think
to have energy, you really got to move your body.
Yeah, actually we worked. We started very early yesterday and we finished work the following day. Technically that was already the following day. Yeah.
So we haven't worked out we took the week off from going to the gym, from working out. So we need to start doing that tomorrow or Wednesday.
Good night,
we need to get back in it.
AUX Mike.
We need to, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. It was fun hanging out with you, my friend. But we got to get back in the gym. So we took the week off. But once in a while, it's good to take time off. Every now and then, you need to take some time off from the gym. And then when you get back in the gym, it helps you be refreshed and you feel more like working out again.
Night,
it's good for your...
Sammy, go ahead, sorry.
It's good for your body, it's good for your mind, all that stuff. Not that we work out all that much where we get burned out so easy, because some of those guys that are really hardcore in training to failure and stuff, and they never want to take a break, that's when, those guys burn out really easy. If you're like us, where you're more moderate about it, everything in moderation. They say, I'm no longer a competitive athlete. I used to be. And this is not this advice I'm giving to people, some of this workout advice I'm going to be giving to people, it's more like for general people that want to be healthy and look decent, as opposed to people that are competing in some sort of sport. Because I was, of course, a high-level athlete for many years, and you can't be so moderate if you're trying to compete in an intense sport at the highest level. For me, that was wrestling. So for me, it was training, sometimes 3-4 workouts a day of different types, and 7 days a week a lot of the time. So, but if you want to be the best in the country, if you want to be the best in the world, that's what it takes. But if you just want to be a healthy person that looks good, you're better off doing less rather than doing more.
Take it from the expert.
So is that good? Is that good advice to end things on? Go ahead and if you're watching this live, like I said, the comments don't record when the video comes up as a recording, but go ahead and stop by and leave another comment, leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, as much as we would like to send a shout out to all of you guys who joined us, who left comments, sorry, but just want to let you know that we really appreciate you all for hanging with us in this live stream. And let me just reiterate what Travis said. Since we will be losing all these comments you already posted on the recorded version of this live stream, feel free to leave your comment again so we could see them later on the recording, especially if we were not able to read your comments. So feel free to do so. And once again, thank you to our Patreon family. And good night to you who are going to bed. God bless you all.
Okay, thanks guys for joining us. We're going to enjoy this hotel room for a while longer. We got the air conditioning blasting in here. We have a nice comfortable bed back there. Not sure you can see it. Maybe you can see our mess because we've been staying here a while. So thank you guys for joining us. And be sure to check out our other videos. That last one was really good. I'm really proud of that.
Jack Jones said, good night, gym team.
All right.
Thank you. Purple, was it Purple Cat? Thank you as well. Thank you to all of you.
All right. Bye, guys.